Every year there are fewer and fewer wartime veterans that remain with us, and the same is true with the aircraft that they flew. However, in Blackpool, there's still a veteran that takes to the skies. I'm in Hangar 42, also known as the Spitfire Visitor Centre, but it wasn't always a museum. The story of how this place survived and became a home for airworthy Spitfires all began with a photograph, but for that we need to go back to 1941. In 1941, £6,500 was raised by residents of Lytham St Anne's. This was towards the Spitfire Fund. It was something of national pride. Towns got involved and they were told they could have a dedication on the nose of the aircraft, and that's how the Lytham St Anne's Spitfire appeared. Back in the war, this place was Squires Gate, but it wasn't just an airfield. It hosted operational squadrons, home to Polish fighter units, a training centre, and next door was the Vickers and Armstrong Shadow Factory. It was one of Britain's biggest RAF training hubs, and the station itself supported coastal command operations. After the war, Squires Gate returned to civilian flying, gradually becoming Blackpool's regional airport. Today it's a museum, and I love the little Spitfires guiding you towards the entrance. There are some great things here, and of course a couple of Spitfires, a Hurricane and a Messerschmitt, as well as interactive displays and virtual reality experiences.
I actually feel like this guy would stand up and talk to me, or maybe shout at me for being in here.
Of course, there's a small cafe to get a hot drink and a cake. I saw a picture where the hangar was painted as a row of cottages. How cool is that? It reminds me of those inflatable tanks. Probably wondering how this comes back to that one photograph. Well, before this place was a museum, a guy called John Coombs founded this volunteering group, and they called themselves the Spitfire Ground Display Team. After some research, John discovered that Lytham St Anne's Spitfire picture in the archives, and he knew that there was a story here. He found out that the Spitfire was piloted by a Sergeant Alan Lever Ridings, who disappeared on an escorting mission. Alan had family ties to the area, and so they wanted to create a memorial. With Lucy the Spitfire, they raised funds the old-fashioned way through air shows, armed forces events, school visits and celebrity events. They raised over £80,000 entirely through community support, just like they did back in the day. The official title is the Lytham St Anne's RAF Fighter, Bomber and Coastal Command Memorial. It was unveiled in 2012, honouring RAF, Commonwealth and US Air Force aircrew who never came home. This project led to the restoration of Hangar 42 and the creation of the Spitfire Visitor Centre. One of the centre's most visible partnerships is with Fly a Spitfire, whose aircraft operate from the airfield and other places. These flights help keep the sights and sounds of the era alive for new generations. There's also another project going on here. The Saving Amy project is restoring an Airspeed Oxford, which was a training aircraft for bomber crew. Amy was delivering it to another base down south from here when she disappeared. This isn't the original aircraft, but they aim to restore it and carry on with Amy's legacy. When I found out that that one picture was the catalyst for this whole museum, that absolutely amazed me. I love wartime stories, but I also love to hear what happened after the war. And for something like this, a hangar that served its purpose during the war is now serving a purpose educating and preserving, doing all these different projects and educating future generations. I really like this museum, and I think because it's run largely by volunteers, you've got that community aspect, and it just goes to show what you can do with the support of a community, just like when they had the Spitfire Fund, just like when they were raising money for the memorial, and just like it created this museum. If you're ever in the area, do pop along and see for yourself.